And we have on tap KL Shock that was in the finals of Lutte Academie Season 1.
Hey, brothers. Let's watch some Jofo on the ring. Yeah!
Kyle Zachary, the Daddest Bod, who fought Jeremy Prophet in the semifinal.
Hey, this is Kyle Zachary, the Daddest Bod on the planet. Watch Jofo in the Ring, the #1 podcast.
And the monster, Jessie V.
This is Clutch Jessie V, and you better watch Jofo in the Ring.
Will be facing Giant Orion in the first episode of Lutte Academie Season 2. Let's get into the action. And here we go for another edition of Jofo in the Ring. And yes, my name is Frank Jofo, and we have a special guest. He was in the finals of Lutte Academie, and we have him here today talking about Lutte Academie 2023. He is KL Shock. What's going on, brother?
Hey, brothers. In the interweb land. That's awesome.
So everything is good with you. You know that Lutte Academie is just a couple of weeks away. We are all excited. It seems that you're excited. What's the feel of knowing that you're so close to competing again in Lutte Academie 2023?
This year, I think this year is going to be a little tougher. Last year, people weren't expecting me to make it all the way to the finals. I came in with Brother Paulie, and people thought that if the team didn't go through, we wouldn't go through together, but I made it all the way to the finals. So I think this year might be a little tough because people know what the brother's going to bring to the ring. So I've been doing my training. I've been eating my Wheaties and saying my vitamins, and I'm ready to go, brother.
Well, last year you were in the finals versus the winner of Lutte Academie, one of the winners of Lutte Academie, Jeremy Prophet, and one of the finalists, Mattis Mir. Jeremy Prophet, unfortunately, isn't in the competition this year, but Mattis Mir is in. Is there any words for Mattis Mir this year to look out for KL Shock in this year's edition?
That finals match with Mathis and Jeremy Prophet, that was one of the craziest matches I had all last year. Without Jeremy there, I think coming in, Mathis brother is probably going to be one of my top people I'm going to be eyeing up in this competition. So again, if him and I get matched up together, expect us to kind of step it up more than we even had last year, because I know what he's bringing this year and he knows what I'm bringing, brother.
So this whole journey, starting to speak with Jacques Rougeau and everything, what has Jacques meant to you in this journey and with Lutte Academie?
I love Jacques Rougeau. He's been so great. Ever since I met him, he's been putting so much work into Lutte Academie, and he just believes in all these young people, and it's been so fun because I love the Mountie. when I was a little brother,
you can tell we love the Mountie too over here. So we have his jacket, we have the poster, QT Marshall as well over here. So yeah, we're big fans as well.
It was the best, being a young Canadian brother and seeing the Mountie on TV, and now getting to be in a competition with him and getting to know him, and it has been so cool. Brother Jacques has just been putting in so much work for everybody else, and it's been so cool, brothers.
So what has changed from KL Shock, the first edition of Lutte Academie, to the second edition to Lutte Academie? What do they have to look forward to with KL Shock?
Well, round one, I came in with my brother Paulie. This time, I'm not even coming into this round one with him this time. Okay. So again, I think it's just about showing people that last year, QT Marshall made a mistake. Ooh. I really think in the end we really proved that we were ready. The brothers in entirety were ready, and this time we're just going to take it one step further and show QT Marshall that he has no choice but picking the brothers.
What would $10,000 do for you in your life? What would it do to change your life? $10,000 as the winner of Lutte Academie, and then on top of that, 3 months at the Nightmare Factory with QT Marshall, Cody Rhodes, Billy Gunn, Daddy Ass, training with you for 3 months? What would that do for your life?
Oh, you don't even know. Well, $10,000, brother. Me and brother Polly could get out of our mom's basement, brother. Like, that would be cool. Yeah, maybe with $10,000 we get like a mansion or something. But like I don't even know. We haven't thought about that one. I have to talk. But like, it would really change our life. And going down to the Nightmare Factory with like Cody Rhodes and QT Marshall and Daddy Ass. Scissor me, brother. I love it.
Well, there's one thing that a lot of people have been asking me. Can you show us the floss? Can you show it to us? Show it to us for everybody out here.
I'll give you a sneak peek right
All
now.
right.
You guys ready?
Go
3,
for it.
2, 1. Yeah. Well, brother, I think if there's anybody in this competition that deserves to face QT Marshall, it is me. You know, QT Marshall looked me right in the face last year and said, "You're not good enough." And now I'm back this year to look him right in the face and say, "Brother, I was good enough last year and I'm even better this year." And if he has any like qualms with that, then he should step in the ring with me and I'll show him how to dance.
So let us know. Do you have some championship titles there? Can you tell us which ones the promotions are there from?
Yeah. So me and brother Polly, we're kicking tag team butts all over. We're the APW tag team champions.
Nice.
We're the Chinlock Wrestling tag team champions. We've been defending all over, but individually, the brothers are just as strong. So get ready, Lutte Academie.
So if there's one message you want to give to everyone out there from Lutte Academie to end it all right now, what is the message that KL Shock wants to give right now?
It's KL Shock and the brothers. We love having fun, but brothers, last year we didn't love losing. So get ready to dance because we're coming to kick some butts, brother.
That's great. That's great. That's great. And if there's anything you want to plug for your indie promotions that you wrestle in, and let everyone know where they could follow you on social media, so they could follow you and add you and follow your journey to becoming 2023's Lutte Academie winner.
Well, brothers, you can find me on the Facebook, on the Instagram, both on KL Shock or on the brothers. We have multiple pages. Again, you can find us at Chinlock, at APW, and all over. Just keep an eye out. Again, another place you'll find me is at the Chinlock Wrestling School. We got a lot of young brothers coming up there. It's in Napanee, Ontario, and that's where I've been working out and putting in some of my time, and not only getting ready for Lutte Academy, but helping others get ready for maybe future Lutte Academies.
That's the most important thing. I think that in Canadian wrestling, like Jacques has been doing, helping Canadian wrestlers, and if you could help yourself help out other Canadian wrestlers, it just keeps it full circle all around. So, you know what? I'm going to say congratulations right now for you that you're in Lutte Academie right now, but I hope to see you again in the finals, because I think you'll be able to be going to the finals once again and showing the world that you are the best wrestler in Canada. And you know what? You have a fan in us, KL Shock, and I hope to see you when I do see you in Montreal, get to shake your hand and congratulate you on becoming a $10,000 winner and the winner of Lutte Academie.
Thanks, brother. I'm ready to go. Let's do this.
And everybody out there, follow KL Shock, potential winner of Lutte Academie, $10,000, 3 months at the Nightmare Factory, and an all-around funny and entertaining guy. Follow this man, enjoy him, and you know what? You're going to get to see him in live action at Club Soda, May 7th. At Lutte Academie for 2023. KL Shock, you're the man. Anything else you want to say before we get out of here?
Get your dance moves ready. Grease up those hips. Let's go, brothers. Yeah.
I cannot wait. And everybody out there, remember, wrestling is life. And here we go for another edition of Jofo in the Ring. And yes, my name is Frank Jofo, and we have a special guest. He was in the semifinal versus Jeremy Prophet in Lutte Academie 2022. Kyle Zachary, what's going on, brother?
Hey, man, how's it going? Doing good. Glad to be
Very
here.
good, very good. Very nice to see you and talk to you. This year's edition, $10,000 on the line, 3 months at the Nightmare Factory. What is going through your head? The excitement, is it there this year for 2023's Lutte Academie?
For sure, man. It's there. I'm excited. I'm looking forward to being a part of this again. I think last year I did well enough. I think I surprised a lot of people. I think nobody was expecting me to put on the performance that I was doing. And sorry, there's things about to fall over here. As you can see, I'm in my office, so there's kind of like clutter all over the place. But getting back to it, yeah, I'm super excited to be a part of it again. I think my match with Jeremy in the semifinal last year was probably the match of the competition. I think it deserved to be a final match, but that's not for me to decide. So, and I'm looking forward to doing it all over again.
Well, you know what? Talking about that semifinal match, I was there, and I remember there was people in attendance that. Well, I was cheering for Jeremy. He's a very good friend of ours, obviously. But there was somebody in the stands that when I was cheering, "Let's go, Jeremy," there was always somebody, "Let's go, Kyle." Was that your family or someone from your family or friends that were cheering you on?
It very well could have been my family.
Okay.
My son is a very loud supporter of mine. I'm very grateful for that, and I know that that night after the show, his voice was a little raspy, so I'm sure he was doing everything he could to be loud and proud.
Well, there was one thing I have to say right now, and I think a lot of people could vouch for that, and you just mentioned it before. I have to say that was probably the match of the Lutte Academie 2022, you and Jeremy, for even Jacques Rougeau to come into the ring and raise your hand after the match. Can you describe what it felt to fight Jeremy Prophet, the eventual winner of 2022 Lutte Academie last year in the semifinal, in that, like I said, the match of the tournament?
Well, like you said, Jeremy's a good friend of yours. Jeremy's a good friend of mine. The first bumps that Jeremy took in the ring were from me. I gave him his first bumps. I was there when he first came in, his first day in the business. I was there. We were both trained by Jacques back in the day, and I'm really proud of him, how he's grown as a performer. He's come a long way from those first. I mean, everybody does, right?
Yeah.
If you're not growing, you're like, what are you doing? You know. But Jeremy, like, you know, he's earned everything that he's got in this business, and you know, I think the sky's the limit for him. He's always. Every time I see him, he's always ready to talk. He's got we got a good rapport. We have a good history together. A few of us, the guys that came up at Jacques' school, we're still tight. I mean, not tight in that we're like going to each other's houses or anything, but when we see each other, it's like no time's passed. You know, we can always. There's that brotherhood. There's that link that has us there. You know.
Well, it's all about Canadian wrestling, and that's what Jacques Rougeau's been putting emphasis on with Lutte Academie, showcasing the best Canadian wrestlers out there. And obviously, you are one of them this year again. What would $10,000 change for you? What would it do to your life right now, knowing that you could win $10,000 and go to the Nightmare Factory for 3 months and train alongside someone that was in the main event of WrestleMania, Cody Rhodes, Daddy Ass Billy Gunn, and QT Marshall, that's going to be judging Lutte Academie 2023 once again?
Oh man, like oh man, that's hard to even fathom. You know, like the $10,000. Like, who is gonna say no to that? You know? No, thank you, no, thank you. You know, I have you know, my house is about 12 years old, and they say that around 10 years is where you have to start. You know, repairs and stuff, and that's what's going on here. I need a new kitchen, and Lutte Academie, looking forward to them paying for it.
Oh man. So from in the indies right now, what that is bod. A lot of people say it's a gimmick, but I think it's a real life story for you. Where did that name come from, Kyle?
Well, I mean, it started. I retired. The first time I retired was in 2006.
Okay.
2006, 2007, somewhere around there. Actually, I'm not being truthful. It was 2008 when I retired. I remember. I got actually it's a funny story how I came to that. Maybe we can touch back on it later. But so I had retired and I was gone for 11 years.
Okay.
I was just not in wrestling. I wasn't watching wrestling.
Okay.
And Interspecies Wrestling suddenly booked a date in my hometown in
Kanawaki, yeah.
And one of the organizers of the event, hey, it'd be really cool if you did something on the show. And I had been approached before, and because other promotions have run in Ganawagi before that, and they reached out to me. And at the time, I was like, not very much in shape, and it was just it wasn't the right time. I didn't miss it that much yet. But by the time Interspecies Wrestling came around, it was like, okay, my son was a little older now. He was, I don't know how old he was. He was maybe 7 or 8 at the time. And I would always tell him stories about I was being a wrestler. And this opportunity came up. Hey, do you want to do something on the show? I said, yeah, sure, I can do something. With the thought that it would be like, oh, maybe I'm going to be a ring announcer or a referee. That's no problem. And when I got in touch with Mike Roch, the promoter at ISW, it suddenly grew into having a match, and I'm writing storyline for this match, and I'm right back in it. And
here we go.
We go and we do the show, and it was a really great show. They're always putting on great shows at Interspecies Wrestling. They say it's wrestling for people who don't like wrestling, and it's I can't think of a more accurate description of that promotion. They just have all kind of crazy stuff going. I just wrestled for them a couple of weeks ago in Connecticut.
Nice.
I wrestled a goat on that match. So.
Wow. Okay.
So anything can happen at an Interspecies Wrestling show.
Well, it seems that way.
And so, excuse me, at the end of the night, like what you do, you go see the promoter. Thank you for having me. I had a great time. He goes, thank you. You want to do it again? And I went, yeah, I do. Yeah. I do. It didn't take long for the bug to bite me again. And so I needed, that first match back, I was just Kyle Zachary. I didn't have any kind of gimmick lined up. So now I'm thinking oh man, I got to come up with stuff.
I need something here. Yeah.
I can't go back to what I was doing before because I'm not that guy anymore. I'm not that's just not me anymore. So my partner at the time, Sean, my tag team partner, he helped me get in shape for that initial comeback show. And so I said, hey, look, we got this thing going, man. Let's just keep it running. Let's start a tag team. Let's go for it. And so, like they say, the best gimmick is yourself.
Yeah.
Turned up to 11. So I said, look, man, we're not in good shape. We got these dad bods. We're a team, we're a squad. We'll be the dad bod squad. And that's how that happened. And we had a great run together, almost 4 years, and then Sean got hurt and he had to step aside. But Thomas Leduc stepped in, and the Dad Bod Squad is still going strong, and a new member, but it's the spirit of the team is still there. And the name itself for myself, the Daddest Bod on the planet, it came from Ronda Rousey is the baddest woman on the planet.
Okay.
And so I was
nice.
okay, I can make that my own. And so here I am, the Daddest Bod on the planet. And I started to after Sean retired and Thomas Leduc is based in Ottawa, we don't really see each other all that often. So I'm starting to take more singles bookings. So I needed a little son, and I didn't want to lose the dad bod gimmick. I didn't want to lose Work Smarter, Not Harder, because it was bringing in a lot of attention. A lot of people seem to really relate to that. And so I just kept it. It all came from like, oh, we need nicknames for each other. I was coming up with nicknames, and I made a whole list of like dad bod themed names, and I picked one for Sean, one for myself, and that was the one I ended up with. Sean was the father figure. The figure. Yeah.
Okay, I get it. That's cool, man. Because you know what, like I like, so that's what I presumed. I presumed that it was your son or if you had a daughter that was in the stands and they were screaming, "Let's go, Kyle! The dad is bought it." And I'm like, "But what's going on here? They're overshadowing me. I'm screaming on the top of my lungs." But that's what you love about wrestling. People get involved, and that's what it was about last year. What has changed from last year to this year, Kyle, for you?
I honestly, I'm probably a little more motivated. I mean, I got like, I started training a little more, so I'm not. I don't want to kill my gimmick, right? Like I still want to have the dad bod, but that's what's good about being the daddest bod, because that doesn't mean like what does that mean? That could mean anything, right? That could be the most in shape dad bod, you know. So the daddest bod on the planet. So I'm getting a little more in shape. My conditioning's getting better. I think my work rates have gone up. I think I'm not back to where I was when I was 20, but I'm getting there. I'm really close, and I'm not usually the kind of guy that'll sit here and tell you that I'm the best, and I'm, you know, but I really think that like I am one of the better performers out there at the moment, and I'm starting to take this seriously again, and I don't know if the wrestling world is ready for me to be taking this seriously, because I was a gimmick act, a comedy act for a while, and now I mean, I showed last year, like, I can still go. I still have some gas in this tank, and I'm going to drive this car until it doesn't go anymore, you know?
Well, after that match against Jeremy Prophet, I could see you lifting that big check at the end of the competition. But if there's one message you want to give to all the competitors in Lutte Academie right now, what is it? What is the message that is bod Kyle Zachary want to give out to all the competitors out there?
Oh man, I'm saying you guys are gonna have a hard time at the end of the night, at the end of the semifinal last year. It was my name they were chanting, even though I wasn't victorious at that moment. I made my mark there, and you know, signing up this year again. I don't know how much this is supposed to be a secret, but I was on the fence this year. I wasn't exactly being considered, and the reason was because I don't have a future in wrestling, which is entirely true. You know, I'm 40 years old. I'm not going to be wrestling in 5 years. You know, like there's only so much time left for me, but that means that my time is now. That means that now is the time where I gotta make my mark, and I'm coming into Wrestling Academy 2023 ready to make that mark, and I'm going to do the best I can. I'm going to put on the best performance I can, and I think some of these kids are going to be hard pressed to follow me.
Well, you know what? There might be one big kid that you might be facing potentially is QT Marshall, and we don't know who you'll be facing yet. But to potentially be facing QT Marshall, how does that feel on your end?
Well, I mean, honestly, I have something to prove. I have something to prove because as far as my knowledge of the situation is, he's the one who said I don't have a future in wrestling. Okay. And again, totally justifiable to say that. You know, I'm not going to be around very much longer, but I need to show, like, I'm here now. This is my time. The world's not ready for me to take this industry seriously, and I'm going to make my mark now.
Well, Kyle, you know what? It's always a pleasure to have you on the show, and I can't wait to see you live once again in the ring at Club Soda, May 7th at for Lutte Academie. Is there any indie wrestling promotions that you want to plug? And can you tell everybody where they could find you on social media so they could follow you and your journey to winning Lutte Academie 2023?
Sure. I have on Facebook, I have the Dadbot Squad has a page there. You can find us there. There is a Daddest Bot on the Planet Twitter
Ooh.
I don't do Twitter that often,
Okay.
so it doesn't get off. It doesn't get updated. I'll go on it like once a month, and I'll see there's like
Okay.
15, 20 notifications. Like, oh man, people were talking about me, and now I'm responding, and it's like 3 weeks later. But yeah, I have the Twitter, Kyle Zachary 55, I think is the handle.
Okay.
Otherwise, it's the Daddest Bot on the planet. And the Dad Bot Squad also has its own Twitter page that also doesn't get updated. So yeah, social media is hard. You know, I don't have a lot of time to I know a lot of I see the show, and I know that a lot of the guys you have on the guys and the girls that you have on the show have like encyclopedia like knowledge sometimes, and like people will talk to me about indie wrestling. I'll be like, yeah.
I love wrestling.
I did another podcast, and somebody asked me who my dream matchups were in indie wrestling. I was like, I know some of the guys. Like, I'm lucky in that. Like, the best ones who are around, I have got to work with them. I did work with Speedball, Mike Bailey. Yeah. I worked with Jeremy Prophet. I worked with the Excesses. You know, like these are the guys who are. In my eyes, they're the top wrestlers in the
they paved the way for everybody else that's doing it right now, and
exactly, and especially in the case of Jeremy and Mike Bailey, you know, like Speedball, he's the best in the world.
That's it,
without a doubt. Yeah. You know, and he's like, I have no problem talking about like old school wrestlers. I know that's stuff I know. But to ask me about like guys that are around in the India, I'm like, okay, I know the guys that I know, but I don't know everybody. You know, I don't have that kind of knowledge of the industry now anymore.
Well, the only thing you got to worry about is winning Lutte Academie this year, and you know what? We'll be cheering you on this year at 2023. We'll be there. I can't wait to see you live. Once again at 2023, and Kyle, it's been a pleasure, and I want to hopefully congratulate you when you do win 2023 Lutte Academie at the end of all this competition.
Thank you, that means a lot.
I appreciate that, man, and everybody out there, follow Kyle on his journey to winning Lutte Academie 2023, and he needs a new kitchen, so let's help him out. Let's help him out, and everybody out there, remember. Wrestling is life. And here we go for another edition of Jofo in the Ring. And yes, my name is Frank Jofo, and we have a special guest, the big man, Jessie V. What's going on, brother?
Not too much, man. Thanks for having me.
Hey, it's always a pleasure to have you on the show. And last year, we saw you at Lutte Academie. You got picked by QT Marshall to wrestle at AEW Toronto, but you weren't one of the winners. Can you describe to us the feeling you have this year going into Lutte Academie, knowing that you have a chance to win $10,000 and 3 months at the Nightmare Factory?
Hey, man, the prizing is great. You know, it's always a bonus, but I'm just looking to wrestle, and anywhere I go, I look to wrestle. So I'm going in there being me and doing what I do best, and we'll see how it goes.
What has changed from last year's Lutte Academie to this year's Lutte Academie's Jessie V?
I'm about 15, 20 pounds heavier.
Oh, wow.
But I've definitely got a lot more experience under my belt. I've had quite a few big matches in the past year against like quite a few AEW guys, Impact. So just my experience, and I'm ready to go.
Well, we saw you on AEW a couple of times. The first time we saw you was with you wrestled against the Best Friends in Orange Cassidy, and then the second time you faced Cody Rhodes' brother and Keith Lee. What was the experience of getting called back to AEW the second time around?
Yeah, it was an honor. You know, I went in there, and I've got a lot of friends there as well, so it's actually kind of a good time for me. And I went in hoping to have a match with Dustin Rhodes, and to actually get that was awesome. You know, I'm just going in and be aggressive. There's a lot of good guys, good wrestlers, guys and girls in this year's contest. And you know, when Jacques asked me to come back, I went in there thinking, I'm here to wrestle. I'm here to show off what Jessie V can do, and nothing's going to change that.
Well, there's another big man that you're going to be facing, Giant Orion, and I've never seen this big man wrestle, but I've seen you wrestle. It's going to be a great match. You have any thoughts on that match versus the Giant Orion?
He's definitely the tallest guy I've ever had to step in the ring with, so I'm really looking forward to it. But he's not the heaviest guy I've ever had to deadlift, so
okay,
we'll see how it goes.
I'd love to see you deadlift that guy over your head, man. That'd be a sight to see.
Yeah.
But it's going to be a two big men going at it at the second annual Lutte Academie. I'm pretty sure that'll be the main event. I wouldn't be surprised. Looking forward to $10,000 for the winner. What would $10,000 do for you, Jess?
I got 2 kids. Could help pay for my kids. Yeah, I mean, $10,000 is great, and the prize is great, and the sponsors giving that is awesome. Yeah. But again, like I said, I've been wrestling because I love wrestling. The experience with Jacques Rougeau has been awesome. I watched the Jailhouse match multiple times, so to get to hang out with him and stuff, it's I'm all about the wrestling experience, and I'm not just saying that. Like, obviously I love money as well, but
who doesn't?
the experience of everything you get to do and travel is more than enough, man.
Well, we had Kyle Zachary on. He said he needed a new kitchen, so maybe maybe the kitchen and the kids there. I don't know who's going to be getting the pick there, but hopefully we get to see you in the finals. I wouldn't be surprised to see you there in the finals, hosting up that big check at the end of the event. But if there's one thing you want to tell your competitors out there right now, anybody besides Giant Orion and everybody else out there, what's the message you want to send to everybody in Lutte Academie 2023?
I want everybody to bring your best, because that'll bring the best out of me. So, I don't want guys that are just out there looking for themselves. Let's have a good match. Let's kill it.
Yeah. And for me, and I've seen you, if I'm not mistaken, I've seen you wrestle in C4 as well in Ottawa.
Yep.
Yeah. What's that experience there? Because I haven't been to one of their shows yet, but everyone's been telling me I have to go down and see it. And what I've seen, the highlights and the crowd and the excitement there, it's one show that I have to go to this year. Describe the atmosphere there in C4 wrestling.
C4 is a little special to me because I'm from Ottawa.
Okay.
So, I live in Toronto, but when I get to go to Ottawa, there's people I grew up with. They're coming to see me wrestle, and the crowd they're into everything. So, you really get to showcase a lot of fun skills, fun tricks, and do everything you can. So it's a good time at C4. No, it'd be an honor. QT Marshall is, to be honest, I think he's one of the greatest heels right now. And listening to him work and watching him work and listening to him talk, it's impressive. So it would be an honor to take on him.
Sounds good. It seems like you're ready to go for Lutte Academie, and I can't wait to see you at Club Soda May 7th against Giant Orion. If there's anything you want to plug for your indie promotions, and let everyone know where they could find you on social media, so they could follow your journey and help you win Lutte Academie this year. Tell them where they can find you.
Yeah, so on Instagram is probably the best place. It's Clutch Jessie V, and you can get me at Clutch Jessie on Twitter. But I'm all around all weekends. Every weekend of the month, I'm somewhere. This weekend, I'm in Gatineau for Evil Uno shows.
Okay.
And then it's Lutte Academie, but I'm all around North America, whether it's in the States or Ontario, Quebec, anywhere, you'll find me. So check it out, and you can see where I'm at.
Well, there you go, everybody. Follow his journey, support him, follow him on social media, and hopefully that $10,000 will help out his kids, his family, his life, and change his life forever. And Jess, you have a fan in me. I don't want to piss you off out there, but I know you're gonna take it to Giant Orion on May 7th at Club Soda. Thank you for your time, and I can't wait to see you live at Club Soda May 7th.
We'll see you May 7th.
And I cannot wait for that. And everybody out there, remember, wrestling is life.
So, Jofo, I'm a gargle a shot for Kurt Hennig and everybody before we go.
Oh, no.
Jofo, thank you guys.